Hi, boys and girls! I'm Irene, an editor-in-chief from Russia. Today I tell you about life in Russia with all its pros and cons. Dismal life in small towns. It's a challenge to live in provincial towns. If you don't have a thriving business or steady remote job, then you'll work for peanuts. And the smaller town, the less entertaining and sport opportunities people have. I've been to Murom, a charming city with announcements everywhere on free help to drug addicts and alcoholics. But there are people who willingly go from Moscow or St. Petersburg to the suburbs or small towns. The pace of life is slower, the prices for real estate are lower, there is more greenery and wildlife. For instance, the British John Warren moved from UK to the Russian southern district to do agricultural business. I'll leave a link to the video where I'm telling you about this. Bureaucracy. There is an informal saying in Russia that without a piece of paper you are a poop. And that's true. Whenever you want to enter university, to get a job offer, to become an entrepreneur, to buy accommodation, pretty much everything, you need a whole bunch of papers. The only comforting notion is that in France or Italy, the bureaucracy is even worse. Taxes and poverty. Yes, we Russians have to pay just 13% of our income. Be mindful that you foreigners pay more. You pay 30% of all your income, it goes to the government. But the thing is that our salaries are so low that we can't have a normal, decent life. And don't trust those official average salary figures. They say in St. Petersburg an ordinary person earns 65,000 rubles per month. It's about $850, and it's quite a lump sum. But the real thing is, the real figures would be 30,000 rubles. It's about $390, and they are more close to life. The mortgage is about 12%, and the prices for real estate are insane. Let's say that in St. Petersburg, a 2-bedroom apartment costs 7 million rubles. It's $90,000. I don't know what I can do to earn such a lump sum. I don't know. I'm an editor-in-chief, so I'm not an ordinary manager, but still my salary is quite low, and I can't afford nearly to buy such accommodation. Then we cannot hope for the retirement payment, because the vast majority of us will probably die before reaching that age. 65 for men and 60 for women. And my dad is only 55 and he can't find a job right now. All the employers hint that he's too old. Those who have Russian citizenship get free medical care. Each of us has a compulsory health insurance policy. But as a rule, you have to wait several weeks for a doctor's appointment and several months or even years for operations. The equipment is poor, doctors get coins for their hard work, and they are not willing to help their patients. So we have to use private medicine. However, not only is it quite expensive, it's also challenging, because most clinics force their doctors to work as sales agents and prescribe inappropriate, useless, pointless, expensive, luxurious procedures and pills. I was supposed to get 2 injections, 2 pricey injections, 15,000 rubles each, $200. And luckily I refused, because later I found a decent doctor who told me that these 2 injections could ruin my health. All in all, it's better not to fall ill or just go straight to the cemetery. We have wonderful doctors, but they are forced to work in inappropriate conditions. Poor education. We have free education, and I was lucky to have one. I graduated from St. Petersburg State University. I'm a public relations expert, but not all people are lucky. Most of all people have students, I mean their parents, have to pay for their studies. And it's not very cheap. For example, in St. Petersburg you will pay 200,000 rubles per year. It's about $2,500. So if you're lucky to get one of a few free spots available, and then congrats. But still, even if you avoid tuition fee, you probably will get a very, very, very little scholarship. They are so scarce. When I was a student, so many years ago, I even can't count it, my scholarship was 1,500 rubles, $20. And at the same time, I was supposed to pay for my dormitory 4,000 rubles, $50. So I had, since the second year, I had to work to earn a living. And one more thing is the quality of higher education in Russia. I'm very sorry to say that, but it's quite poor. The theoretical part is brilliant. We got great professors, it's true, but we are not taught any practical skills. When I graduated from the university, I had no idea what a public relations manager does, and I still don't. So I don't see the point in 5 years of imprisonment in order to learn some basic data and make new friends. You can do it anywhere else, really. You can read books on your own and make friends just like that. Go to a bar, I don't know, to a museum. So it's absolutely pointless, in my view. Many people will disagree, but it's my opinion. Poor service. If you are a tourist and want to explore Russia, beware of our poor service. Most hotel managers, chambermaids, waiters, taxi drivers are not amiable at all. They just need your money, and they will put on these sour faces and treat you like you owe something to them with enormous coldness. Of course, not all people like that, but so many. And secondly, you have to be ready that you won't get enough facilities for the money you pay. You have to be satisfied with little you get. And now let's look at the bright side and count all the pros. I hope that you are still with me. Relatively cheap life. If you are from the USA or Europe and you have a remote job for your country, for a company in your country, but you live in Russia, it's going to be great. Just opt for a large city: Moscow, St. Petersburg, Kazan, Yekaterinburg, Surgut, Sochi. And with your salary, you'll have a decent life, really. You will be able to rent or buy accommodation, to use taxi, to eat in fancy eateries and restaurants, and to have enough entertainment. However, if you decide to work in Russia, life is going to be challenging. Let me tell you average prices in St. Petersburg. I'll pick in my notes. You can rent a one-bedroom apartment for 20,000 rubles a month, $260. Utility charges are 3,000–4,000 rubles. It's approximately $40–50. A taxi ride will cost 300–100 rubles and more for $13. A subway entry costs 34.55 rubles, less than $1. I spent about 8,000 rubles for food, $100. But I guess my husband spends more and I'm stingy, so be ready to pay 15,000, 20,000 rubles, $200 and $260 per person. These prices are quite average. Of course, all people have their own needs, and I can't tell you how much I spent on, I don't know, on some detergents, some entertainment, because all people will have all those different expenses. Good banking. I heard stories that in the US you cannot always use PayPass, and in Europe sometimes it's hard to open a new card and whatever. But in Russia, fintech is great, at least in large cities. You fill in the form online, and the next day a delivery person brings you your card. You need cash only at the food market. Elsewhere you can pay with your card or your phone. And we've got plenty ATM machines and bank departments if you need them. Splendid nature. Russia is vast. While living and traveling here, you will able to see splendid sceneries, breathtaking landscape. I'd rather you go to Kamchatka, Karelia, Sochi, Baikal, Yakutia. Tourists from all over the world take hiking trips to see our natural wonders: volcanoes, waterfalls, mountains, northern lights, sea, ocean. But the thing is that if you live in a large city, you won't be able to see all that, so you will have to use your vacations or weekends to go to the suburbs or somewhere else. Impressive culture. Many foreigners who moved to Russia claim that, first of all, they were fascinated with our culture and language, and it's totally understandable. There are so many options of it, so once you come to Russia, you'll be absorbed with all those wonders of culture. We can offer you museums, excursions, theaters, concerts, fairs, festivals, you name it. Historic legacy, the same. If you are into Russian history and architecture, you'll have endless opportunities to explore them. I can't say that we managed to save all the buildings from decay and demolition, but we still have something to show. In St. Petersburg, you can always see those building works due to abundant restoration work. However, I have to say that some of the buildings were destroyed and they cannot be restored in this during the Second World War and afterwards, unfortunately. Superb cuisine. Not only do we have restaurants where you can try Russian cuisine, all those borscht, pelmeni, pyrojai, pasties, herring under mayonnaise and beetroot, all that stuff, but also we can offer various world cuisines like Italian, French, Norwegian, Japanese, Chinese, Indian, you name it. We have upmarket restaurants, snug cafes, diverse fast food to-go chains, and so on and so forth. And on top of it, we have great craft beer and wine. That was it. I'm so sorry for the long video. I couldn't have made it shorter, and I hope it was handy. Write your comments, share your opinion in the comments below. Subscribe to my Instagram account and to my YouTube. See ya.